Yes, you. The real you.
God bless you, everyone. Blessing, 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 blessing. I'm sharing and I want you to also share with me. Can you just share with me today? Come on in and put where you are watching from as you come in. I need you to just share. I see Sister Ita is in the house. Can you just share with me and put where you are watching from? I need to see where your satellite is shining from. Can you do that while we are sharing? Yes, 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 yes. Come on in. Come on in. Come on, let me see which city, which land you're in. Let me see how God is using you to share, to evangelize. Let me see who you're going to bring in today to say, listen, there is a real you. Can you come on and look what God is saying at this moment? Come on, I need you to share. Can you share with me today? Can you share with me today? Yes, yes, yes. I need you to share with me today. Hallelujah. I am sharing. I need you to just put in that there is a real you, and we have a great woman of God today among us that I know you will be blessed with it. Come on, you will be blessed with it. You will be blessed with it. Come on, help me just broadcast this. Let me just share it. The real you. The real you. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, Sister Ita, I see you sharing. I see you sharing. I see you sharing. And I'm also sharing. Come on, just help me to share. Put where you are watching from as you come in. Let me see which city you are in, which city your satellite is working from. Come on in. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I see Sister Glenda coming. Miniva. Miniva. I'm calling names. Sometimes I have problem with these names. But I welcome you. I welcome you. Let me see where you are from. Yes, I see Jamaica come in. I see Curacao come in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. You are coming in. Help me to share, Lida Paulette. Let the Jamaica know that we are on. Come on. We have a great doctor that is coming on. A great woman of God. She's a doctor, but also a believer. And that is what we want today. You know, believers becoming doctors, nurse, lawyer, you know, judges, all these things. Yes. You're laughing at me, huh? God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Yes, I see Almira in the house. You know, I have fun coming on and see you all. It's a blessing to come on and see you all pushing and pressing with me. Hallelujah. Yes, bring the woman of God in. Come on, bring her in today. I see Prophetess Deborah is on. God bless you. Dr. Tengi, all
God
the way
bless
from
you.
Germany.
God bless you. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly well. How are
Very
you
nice.
doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank God. I'm
Thank
still
God.
alive.
And you'll be alive for a very long time.
One witness. I don't need another one. Oh, so today we're going to talk about surprise. And they said, oh, she want to really talk about the surprise. I thought you would talk about something different. So I'm excited for what your surprise will be. God bless you, Apostle Buffy. God bless you from North Carolina. I tell you, I'm coming. I'm coming just like you coming. So we're going to make a transition, Prophet Apostle. There's a transition that's going to take place. Let me see who's going to reach first. You know, today I feel happy because sometimes you just have to laugh, and you feel happy when you meet people of God, and when you're together and doing the will of God, you feel happy. So I'm happy today because I know something great also gonna happen. You're laughing, Apostle. Watch it. When we speak, it happen. So there's gonna be a transition. You going first or I going first. But one way or another, we're gonna cross over to each land. So, Dr. Tengi,
Yes.
how are you doing? How is the hospital doing? Everything going well?
Yes, by the grace of God. It has
Yeah.
its challenges, but not challenges which we can deal with. Yeah.
Okay.
So everything is going on by the grace of God, and the Lord is using me to reach people, and I'm very grateful. Yeah.
So this is Dr. Tinji, all the way from Germany. She has her own patite, and I don't know how she do it, but she's a doctor, and also she believe greatly in God, and also, I like to see how she participate, and our vision is really to come to a place where she can help many people. And I believe the time is coming where we're going to need people like her to participate, that you get time to can talk and know that there are people that don't have to be directly on the pulpit preaching and teaching, but you have people also in the medical field that can also advise you and talk to you. So I'm very grateful for you spending it, having a time like this to come on. I don't take it just ordinary. So I want to hear about your surprise. What is your surprise? What we're going to talk about today?
Wow. It's a challenging topic. It looks simple, but it's kind of challenging. Let's say many things are a surprise. Many things are a surprise. I was just thinking this afternoon. Let's just go back to my profession, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great surprise. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great surprise because I'm the only person of African origin
Mm-hmm.
who has a clinic in this town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you might have some doctors in the hospitals, but I'm the only one
Mm.
in the town. So that's
Mm.
a kind of a surprise, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
kind of, so, and it wasn't something I planned. It was like I was pushed into that direction through something,
Mm-hmm.
with the challenges I had in the hospital. So somehow I saw this door opened and I went in through, to face the challenge. And since then, it's 3 years now. I can't believe it because time flies. But
Mm-hmm.
um, God has been a great assistant. I don't do anything without Him being like the foundation. He's been a great, without Him, because having this kind of a clinic, you have been here before and you have seen it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the place is a bit different. What happens there is a bit different than what happens in the hospital. So I was
Mm-hmm.
only in the hospital area, and then I got directed into this section so that there will be more influence. That's what I think now. There's more influence. I reach more people. People come because they feel they understand me, especially people of African origin. They feel they understand what I'm saying. I can speak, I can understand them. Many cannot communicate in German, so I can understand whatever thing they're speaking. Even if they're speaking broken English, I understand that. If they're speaking English, I understand. If they speak French, I understand. If they speak German, I understand. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really advantageous for them. So, but then I did not know that at this stage I would be in such a place, because most of the time before people take over such a thing, they would have first come to work in there,
Mm-hmm.
learn the ins and outs, and then take over from the former person. But that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't in my case. I just came in there. The former person was there. He did me some. He showed me certain things for 2 weeks and then went away, and that was all. And
So
I
you
was
didn't get
there
no time to work yourself in.
in no time. No, I had 2 weeks, and he
My
left.
God.
And he had been there for since 1985.
Mm.
So I had to start mastering things on my own, because he was already old, and he wasn't interested anymore in anything. So you have to master things on your own, buy new equipments for the place, learn new things, evolve in the new medicine coming. So it was a challenge, but a pleasant challenge. I'll put it that way. It was
Mhm.
pleasant. That is to
Mhm.
put yourself in such a position and then succeeding. And once you succeed, you discover the growth you do. You grow. You grow.
Mhm.
You grow mentally. You grow in the way you organize things. You grow in your relationships with people. You grow. I mean, the growth is massive. So that's it's not like a surprise. Like there are also day-to-day surprises, but this one is a kind of a big surprise.
Mhm.
you know
Mhm.
so that the influence, and because many people, I'm just sitting there, but many Africans, I don't even need to say anything, but they see me sitting there and they tell their kids, hey, do you see that lady sitting there? It means you can be like that one day. So it gives hope
Mm.
for
Yes.
many
Yeah.
people. Give, gives hope for little children, African children especially. It gives them hope that it's not impossible. You must not be in a limited position. You can also aspire to be something higher.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
So
what I love about you is, and people of God, I want you to listen to what she's saying, because in Germany, I think it in a hospital you can see someone with colors, but to open their own hospital is something different. And I have people working with her. I've been there. She brought me in to pray for it, pray for the hospital. It was a privilege to do that. And what she's saying is, it not only influence her, but others, the young children that is coming up. Their parents will always use her as an example to say, look, you can achieve something. Don't look at that you're in a country with only people from different color and put down your own self. What she have achieved, you can even achieve more, and even, be at the place where she is now. And that encouraged me even when I went in and see, to be honest, as a foreigner coming from a foreign country, to see her in that position. And not, I mean, in the beginning, it must have been very hard because the competition is high. And I believe in the beginning, it must have been causing a sleepless night, I know. So, but what I love about her, she did not give up. This is 3 years, and after 3 years, when you start something, and after the third year, you know that if you don't give up, then you will succeed. So I believe that she coming into this land, and I don't believe she grew up there. You didn't grow up in Germany, right? You
no,
went
no,
to
I
study.
came after A levels. I came after A levels from Cameroon.
Mhm.
So the advantage I had was that my brother was already here. Here in Germany, or I think anywhere in the Western world, the person who takes you from the airport determines if you have a good ride or a wrong ride.
It's
The
true.
person who picks you up determines how your future is going to be. Except
It's
you're
true.
very lucky such that you get out of a kind of system. Because that was where I had the orientation. That was where I was shown the path how to do things. I didn't get lost. Many people get lost,
My God.
especially
I want,
coming.
just before you go further,
Yeah.
this is very important what you said. And if you are with me, just said, I am with you. You said the person, when you're traveling into a new country, a new land, she said something that is very keen, Sister Laverne, and many others. She said the person that pick you up from the airport determine if you're going to have a good life or a bad life, or it determine your walk in that place, or how you're going to manage in that place. That's mean it depends. And she said, with her, the person that pick her up, show her the running, show her the way that she could be here today. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, that's what I'm
Very
saying.
good.
Yeah. So that was how that mean like 50% of the way of the work was cut short by the person who picked me up and whom I stayed with. And then I came to study medicine. And luckily, I had the admission, because it's not everybody who comes to study something and then they have the admission to study. No. And luckily, I had the admission. I got in there. And then it's also very, very tedious because you're studying German, although German is not your first language. You push through, push through, and then you just keep on going. You try to pass the exams. You move ahead. You face challenges, but you keep on moving. There's no giving up because you came to do medicine, and those people back home, they are waiting for you to succeed. They don't know the challenges you face. They don't know you might not have money. They don't know how do you live. They don't know if you have friends. They don't know if you have support. They don't know because they don't know the society. So you're left on your own, and also with God's help, to pull it to the end. When you pull it to the end, you start working. Luckily, that when we pulled it to the end, before, even those who studied medicine in Germany, they couldn't work in Germany. There was no working permit. They had to leave and go to the United States and maybe do the final exams before they could even start to work in the United States. But when we arrived in our time, I think 1 or 2 years before, they had opened the doors and said, okay, now with your German certificate, at least you're German trained, you can work here. Yeah, so that was the luck. So that's also a kind of surprise. It's just like being at the right place at the right time.
My God.
The doors got opened somehow. And then, because there was also a short of doctors in Germany, so they said to themselves, all these foreign people we train, why not let them work here? They assist, at least we use our resources to train them. Instead of letting them go back and go and help other countries, we could let them work here. So they opened the doors, and then you have to get a work permit, and then you start working, and then you face the challenges, which are 1,000. I can write a book. Yeah, I can write a book about them. But sometimes when you are persistent, that is, you're not double-minded. You're not double-minded. You don't sway this way, sway that way. You're focused.
You're firm.
You're firm. You have a solid foundation. You know that, okay, this is my goal. I have to just try and I get there. You always make a goal. Keep on moving against all odds. You reach your goal. But many people, especially of the African origin, they don't have tenacity. With the least thing, they give up and they go away to the next place. So you'll find someone in 2 years has moved in 5 different jobs. And once you do like that, you can't be stable because you meet new people, new systems, new influences, you can't be stable. So the goal is to be stable. Having difficulties does not mean you run away from them. It's through the difficulties that you grow. Yes, that you
That's
grow.
true.
Because I went through hell. In fact, my ride in the hospital was not all that bad. It was when I reached at the final stage that difficulties came from everywhere. And I didn't. In fact, it came from everywhere. I could run and go to the next place, and then the next place I will face those same things. And then I leave again and go to the next place, and then leave and go to the next place. And then I ran a bit, but finally I reached the goal, which was to be a specialist. Because you can't have such a clinic without being a specialist, right? So I became a specialist in whatever I was doing. And then with a license as a specialist, it permitted me to have such a place, which I give God the glory every day. Yeah.
So what do you specialize in? What as a specialist is from
I
everything?
specialize I specialize in internal medicine. It means everything on the inside. I have an idea. You understand? Then again, if I want, I can do. Then again, if I want, I can do a second specialization. That is, I can take one organ in the body, let's say the heart, and then go deeper into all the specificities of the heart. and have a second specialization. So that
Mm,
I have two specializations. But I could do it one day, but not at the moment. So I'm a specialist in internal medicine, although the clinic I have is a family clinic. As a
mm,
specialist in internal medicine, you can have a family clinic. You can have a you can work as a family doctor. But as a family doctor, as a specialist in family medicine, you cannot work like like a specialist of internal medicine. You understand? So I have an advantage that I can work as a specialist of internal medicine, and I can also work as a family doctor.
as a family doctor, so you can do
Yes,
both.
I can do both. In fact, I'm functioning with both. Yeah.
And how do you combine it, being a believer and also a doctor? Because people come in and say, I have this, but and you're telling them something and they want, they don't believe what you're saying and they believe in more. How do you combine it with being a doctor and faith?
Well, if I'm honest with you, I stay more on the professional level.
Mm-hmm,
I don't bring too much the religion aspect of it, because not everybody, or if I get to know the person well, I know they are open, then
mm-hmm,
I might now bring in the area of faith inside, because people have different mindsets. You can't go talking about something, get the person confused, and the person starts looking at you in a strange way. So I'm very careful. I choose the kind of people I might go towards that area. But I'm more of the medical professional where you come. Let's just give a wild example. You come with high blood pressure. I coach you on what to do, how to change your lifestyle, give you drugs, and then put you on control. You keep it simple.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So I keep it really simple. Except the case is something really psychological. And then
mm-hmm.
I might refer you to I know we both know some good pastors, right? So I can refer them to go and try them. Maybe you could have your breakthrough there. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm more on the medical side, and I give advice. If you want advice, I give advice, how to move forward, to always move ahead, to always learn. It's never too
Mm-hmm.
old to learn, to always improve, to always grow. Because when you grow, you attain a level of growth that is you grow in the mind, you grow in the spirit, you grow in the soul. Then automatically the world becomes a better place, because you can take care of your environment better. In fact, it starts with taking care of yourself better. You take care of the environment better. You take care of the people around you better. And if everyone around you is happy, that happiness also expands. They go
Yeah.
and they spread the happiness to others, and the world becomes a better place. But it starts with the self care.
Mm-hmm.
Self care doesn't mean you become selfish. No, self care means that you get to a position of strength, such that your impact is very strong.
Mm. I
Impact.
like that part what you said, self-care. Then how do you come to that place when, because that is something that is you don't see happening around us as in the society. People really taking care or looking, how they can do it, makeup and everything, but self-care,
The
they
self
don't
care
really
is,
do
is
it.
is not there. Yeah,
So
and yeah, the first kind of self care is the mental health.
mm-hmm,
Because if you're off mentally, you can't really do much. There is the battlefield of the mind, right?
mm-hmm,
Yeah. So the first care is the mental.
mm-hmm,
How, because we every day you can be bombarded with negativity. How do you do to take it off your system? How do you do to take it away? How do you do, and the Bible helps us very much in that direction. You get bombarded, you should be quick to forgive and move on. Once you forgive, you
mm-hmm,
liberate yourself. Yeah, that is you get into prayer. Prayer is a good way for me. I'm just giving saying how I do mine. I do prayer. It helps me to feel at peace. It keeps me calm. It helps me to think clearly. Because even if you can study medicine, study everything, but if you can't think clearly, then you can't also prescribe the right medication for your patients. You forget certain things, you oversee certain things, and then the person dies away, or you get into trouble someday. So take mental care of your mental health care is very important through prayer, meditation, doing sports. Sports is very important. It helps activate these hormones. They call them dopamine, which makes you, these happy hormones, makes you feel happy. Yeah, that's
Mm,
why when someone is under stress, they tell them to go do sports, because it really, after that, you feel like you're flying, you're floating, you know?
mhm.
Yes. Also, what you eat. Also, what you eat can make you take care of yourself or not. If you eat every day very heavy food, these carbohydrates and everyday heavy chunks of meat, you can't function well. You reduce the intake of carbohydrates and meat. Yeah, and do sports and you go ahead. Yeah.
So we are here with Dr. Tengi. If you want also to ask her a question and she can able to answer it, then she's also open to answer what you're asking. The last time you were here also, and we were talking about the Gnostics, people who have it, it helped a lot. I mean, the information was good. But we see a lot of people now, and that is something good what you said, with depression
Mm,
and having it's and loss of memories.
mm,
Young people nowadays with loss of memories,
memory. Yeah.
and some people say it is the food that we are eating. Some people say it's the pressure that we are under, causing people to be forgetful. And do you have much of that in the hospital?
No, I don't have much of that. I don't have much of that. When I do have it, is the mostly older people. The mostly older people, but I don't have many young people complaining about forgetfulness. There are a few, of course, but I don't have many. Yeah. But what you said, that the food you eat and then the pressure, these are two very important factors. No, the pressure as a foreign person in the Western world is very high. It's very high because you're coming from somewhere in Africa or wherever. You don't understand the system. You don't understand the bureaucracy system. Every day you receive letters, you have to do this, you have to do that. That already puts you under stress. You don't understand the
Mhm.
culture of the people. You don't understand the language of the people. So how do you communicate? How do
Mhm.
you get yourself integrated?
Mhm. I
How
see
do you
some
so
question here.
the,
Yeah.
the challenges are real. The challenges, many people have gotten depression, many people have gone out of their minds. Many people, even when we came in as young students, imagine you can't pass your exams. And they prolonged our visa depending on how you pass your exam. If you don't pass your exam, they don't prolong your visa. They give
Mm.
you 2 years visa to see how you're moving. If you have to always show that you're advancing. If you are not advancing, they'll just tell you, somebody, if you someone, you can meet some wicked person who tells you to bring all your papers passed at the goal, which you can't do it. So many went into depression, mental problems. Many ran looking for some strange woman to marry or some strange man to marry, to have papers. Many, all sort of things. Also,
Also,
there's some.
they give you the paper. I soon ask the question from Prophet Buffy, but she's saying, so you're saying that they give you paper for 2 years to see how you're doing, and if
Of
you're not functioning right, they take it back, and you have to
Yeah,
leave.
they can give you another clemency for, they say, one more year, so that you can pass your exams. If you cannot pass, they say, oh, you have been here 2, 3, 4 years, you haven't passed the first stage. So what are you doing here? It means your studies are not advancing. Go back to your country, because you came here to study. So you are under this kind of pressure, even as a student. You are under the pressure. You are under monetary pressure. You don't have money all the time. You are living from hand to mouth. In my years, I never had money. I never had money, no money. I will even tell you one little thing which I experienced. I never had money. I was always late on paying my rents as a student. What happened is that we living in the student hostel, and they give you a limited time to stay there, and if you are always behind with your rents, they tell you to leave. So I was told to leave. I left the place, went to live on the outskirts of the town I was studying. And because it was cheaper rent there, I could afford that. But now I didn't have furniture. My bed was on the floor. I was lying on the floor, the bed. I had no bed. I had no furniture. I had no, but I had just a mattress, which I put on the floor, and I was lying on the floor. I had the mattress. I had a TV set there, and there was a little place to cook. I was lying on the floor. So one day, a friend came. A friend came and saw my mattress on the floor, and do you know what he said to me? He said, "Why don't you let a man take care of all of this?"
Mm,
Do you understand?
mhm.
Why don't you look for a man and let him take care of all of this? Many people would have broken under the pressure. You go into a relationship just because you want the person to maybe buy you a bed, buy you. And if I had done that, if I had gotten into such compromises, I would not be where I am today.
My God.
Yeah. So
Mm,
you have lots of tests come your way. Lot of I mean, God always puts you to test before he promotes you.
mm,
Yes. So you
mhm.
have this, so you must, so if you show and you pass your test, it means you are capable of handling a situation.
Ah, so that answer prophetess Apostle Buffy question. She asked, what was your most challenging issue having your own clinic? And I think that this is one of the challenging issue that you have to, you know, push through without money. Sleep on
Yes.
the ground. Come on, sleep on the ground. No furniture. Maybe sometime no food because you have to pay the rent. And they were challenging because I know many people said, "Okay, I'm gonna." Some people even do prostitution, and some
Exactly.
people.
If I, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Many of them do prostitution because I used to go in and see many of them. They do it at night, and you may think they don't have nothing doing during the day, but they are students, but they need money to pay their school fee and to pay their rent. And to see how some people have to struggle, my God, in a foreign country to get to where they need to be, to get to the vision or something. And even when they are going through this, they have to be thinking on their family back home because they believe they're in a foreign country. They have to be helping them also back home. So for you not to take that step to say, let another man help me to bring me where I need to be, and you said that even teach you how to grow. It even increase your ability to become stronger in pushing into what God has for you.
Yeah. So that was how it was. And at that time I wasn't even as prayerful as I am now. I wasn't really I was, of course, I grew up in a Christian family. I had the foundation of prayer, but I wasn't like steadfast. Like I did not have the knowledge I have today. But I knew that I cannot go doing that just so that you buy me a TV, and then what?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I see Prophet Buffy also put lion's mane. What is that? Is this a pill or a tonic? Because it's good to take. Do you know that? I think we don't know this. Lions.
The lion mane, that is the hair on the head, on the back, on the head, on the neck and the head. That's the mane of the lion, right?
Yeah. But what is, she says, very good to take. It's a pill then, I think,
I don't
or a
know.
medicine. It's a mushroom.
No.
She said, Where do you get this to buy, Apostle? This just, I think it's in America. Because what they're doing now is using the mushroom. And many people in America now is using it. I brought some from Jamaica, but I don't really know if it's work, because I don't like the taste and the smell of it. So I think she said it's a mushroom. It's a capsule form and a powder form. Okay, then. Apostle, maybe you need to send me some. Or when I'm there, I will look. I'm coming next week. I wrote it down, so I would look to see if I can get it. So, and yeah, many people are using the mushroom. I don't know if you have heard about it, that it is very good now. So I believe this is something, she said, okay. So I will be looking for the lion man. Okay. So Dr. Tengi, you are in Germany. What is the most case you see coming in now as a doctor?
Oh, now we have the flu season, right?
Hmm.
So that's what comes in now. So there's really no like an outbreak of something. No, this is the flu season, and people coming with flu, and
But
it's
it's the
true.
same like corona now, because I don't understand. Some people now are saying it is the corona.
No, corona is a kind of flu. It's a kind of virus which causes flu, right? There are different viruses which cause flu. Corona is just one type. But the problem we had with corona was that it had gone through a kind of mutation. So it was a bit difficult to contain. But
Mm.
this is the season for flu, and there are vaccines against flu so that you don't catch it if you want to have it, A vaccine might contain, could be against 4 different kinds of flu viruses because there are different types. It's not only corona is just one of them which got crazy, got out of hands. But in the
Mm.
summer, the corona had a resurgent. That is, it was coming back very highly, but it wasn't as bad as when it just started, because
Mhm.
many people who caught corona now have had at least 3 different vaccines of corona. So when they now catch corona, the effect the virus has on them is weaker. That was the reason for the vaccine. That when
Mm.
if you catch it, the effect on you, it doesn't really devastate you. The effect on you, it's weaker. So after 5 days or so, it's just like any normal flu that anyone can have, and then they recover from it. Yeah.
But they are saying that many people now that took the vaccine um, is getting heart attack, dying in their sleep, or they paralyzed. So I heard that many people today is having a lot of problem. The one that took the vaccine, the after effect is really high risk now.
The after effect, that is, if you take the vaccine and you catch corona, the effect is high, or what are you
No,
or
they're saying that the people, I heard from people that have took the vaccine, saying they have a lot of after effect, and that some people, I saw it also in a paper, some people are even died, the heart attack in their sleep. So there's a lot of problem with people that took the vaccine. Now they see the effect on their body. Some of them have a high heart problem, or they cannot walk, paralyzing somewhere in their foot. Or so they said it is the cause from the vaccine. I
but
don't
but
really
but,
know.
but, but they can't prove it, because I too took the vaccine. I took when, because in Germany it was compulsory, or yeah, it was semi-compulsory. Without the vaccine, you couldn't get into anywhere. You couldn't get to, I don't know, sometimes supermarket, you couldn't get into it. So it was semi-compulsory. And then now there's a law that each year the corona vaccine should be given.
Really?
Especially, yeah, each year, especially for people above 60 years. But now
Mm,
you can say it's not a must. If you're above 60 years old, I suggest, do you want to have coronavirus vaccine? If you say no, we let it go. But they have suggested either just like the flu vaccine, which is taken every year, the corona vaccine too can be taken every year. It's not an issue. And many people I know don't have any side effects of corona vaccine. I mean, the ones coming into the practice. I don't know. Maybe some will complain that, oh, after that I'm having this, I'm having that. But there's no proof that it's from the vaccine.
mm.
There's no proof that it's from the vaccine. So, but then again, I don't force anybody. If you have your fears towards vaccine, let it go. No, I don't force anybody to come for vaccination.
Mm, mm, mm. Because that is what many people were saying about the vaccine. And you said you took it and you don't have a problem with
No, I
it.
took it 3 times. I took
Maybe
it three
because you're
times.
young.
I took it 3 times. I had no problem. And all the people I was working with, they took it three
Yeah.
times and didn't have any problems.
You have a vision, and that vision is to bring out. You were talking to me last year that you have a vision. You want to help young people to, invest more in their life and to,
Mhm.
you know, give them hope by, something like a foundation or a stick thing. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well, I don't know if I said foundation, but I did say I
Live
could
program.
hold some program, yes. So like the
Right.
talk, and then we give some kind of motivational talk, just like what we are doing now, right? Yeah, we give some motivational talk. We no, just to encourage people and let them not give up, let them not give up. You make a goal for yourself and you try to follow on that goal. It's true that nothing comes easy, especially here, and nothing is given to anybody on a silver platter. No, you shouldn't fool yourself. It's going to be easy. You could be in a working environment or wherever where you get bullied. People don't like you. Everything you do is wrong. But then you make a goal on what you want to achieve. You make a goal on what you want to achieve. You do it step by step. You can even change that. Change. You go to the next place, but you make sure you reach that goal. You make sure you reach that goal also by the help of God.
So did
So
you start with that? Did you have anyone? Because I think you said you wanted the young one them to come in the clinic to see what is happening and give them hope, that they
yeah,
can
uh,
become one day a
yes,
doctor.
I open the doors. Anybody who wants to come to do some practicals there, I do open the door. Young kids from schools, they have when they're in school, they have sometimes they give them 2 weeks to go to apply to any company of their choice and do practicals. So I let the practice open. They can come and see and work a little bit, show them one or two things. They're happy. And like I said, most of the time I don't even need to say much. Just the presence. Just the
Mm.
presence, just being there. It gives people hope. It gives
So what
people
is
hope.
what Prophet Buffy asks, what was your biggest challenge in Germany studying for a doctor?
You mean because there were at different stages there were different challenges. At different stages there were different challenges. When I was studying, the main challenge was me never having money, never having enough to actually go by. Always talk, always challenge with paying the rent, and always difficulties with the studies too. It's tedious, especially studying in a foreign language.
But how did you get to learn German? Because you went there in a good age. Did you have to go to school in Germany to learn the language before you studied doctor?
Yes, in Cameroon, you can have an admission to study medicine from Germany because the language will not be adequate. In Cameroon, before you have the visa, they tell you to study to learn the first stage of the language. You have different stages. You have A1, A2, B1, B2, and then C. So before leaving Cameroon, they want you to have A2. At least that's the basics. That's just the foundation. So that was what I had. So when I came to Germany, I had to do B1, B2, and C. And doing B1, B2, and C is something which takes at least 1 year or more. But I didn't want to spend too much time studying the language. So I compressed everything. In 5 months, I was through. At least
Wow.
that time, yeah, I was doing B1 and B2 simultaneously. And then when I passed both, I went to do C. They told me, oh, 2 months is already gone in C. So I registered for the last month. I wrote the exams and I passed. So I applied to study medicine and got the admission. So that was how my own thing went. Yeah.
Wow.
But there are people who have massive problems with language. They have never passed, they cannot pass it. They have been there for 2 years, they cannot pass it. I don't know. So it's that language was not one of my problems, so to say, on how to pass it. And yes, even having an admission into the school was not one of the struggles I had, but the lack of finances and the studies was very difficult. It's very
Mm.
difficult, yeah. And then,
So how long it took you to study for the doctor?
doctor work is 6, 7 years. It's 6, 7 years. The minimum is 6 years. Yeah.
Mm, mm. And then you had to work in the hospital, and then
I
you
had
had
to work
to.
in the hospital, and now the hospital is another. In my The hospital like is another problem, another how to fit because you have different departments, how to fit in a team. If the chief likes you or not, it also depends on that. If you move forward or not, you might go somewhere the chief never likes you, and then he never writes a good report about you, so you can never move forward. It happens.
Mm,
So at the end of my specialization, I had problems. People I was with for 4 years, it was as if I didn't know them anymore. So I had to move to another place. When you move to another place, you meet new people. They have a new mindset. They already have their team. So how do you fit into that team? I have my own ways of doing things. And if you're with people who are not so-called believers, it's 3 times difficult to function with them.
mm.
So at different stages, you have different challenges. It's not like one particular challenge. It keeps on evolving. So
So how did your family support you in this? You're in a strange land. Your brother is here.
yes,
You
my
don't
my
have
my,
money.
my family. I'm lucky that I'm from a stable home. That's where everything starts. If you don't have a stable home, it already determines how your future might be. So I'm lucky that I am from a stable home. My dad was an intellectual person.
Mm,
He was a teacher. At the later stages of his life, he was a teacher, but he studied sociology and anthropology in the Congo. Although we are from Cameroon, but he did it in the Congo. In those days, they had scholarships to go study in other African countries and stuff like that. So he was on scholarship, and he had, and then he's also a writer. So and did lots of research work on different things. So I'm lucky that that's where the foundation even started. You understand?
mm,
So the supported mental support was the main thing which they gave, and then my brother also supported me financially. Although I was always lacking money, but without his support, I would not even be able to do anything. So he also supported me onto the very last stage, and I also used to work. I used to work too. But it was not all the time I found work, and it was not all the time that you can combine work and school.
mhm,
Some people could combine it, but I had difficulties combining it. But I also during the holidays, you go like they had the fairs. You go to the Frankfurt Fair. You had the car fair. You go, you
mm.
work in the kitchen. Like yeah, after working, you stand up for 8 hours. You can't walk. At the end of the day, you can't walk.
But then how do
It's
you
not your head,
combine
it can't work.
but how you combine it with your study? Because you're studying the language, you're studying to be a so how do you do that?
No, no, is you get into medical school after you have passed the language. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's one step after the other. You start studying the medicine, and then during weekends, people went to work. They went to no, not many people studying medicine from Cameroon had brothers who supported them.
Yeah.
I can say 90% didn't have anybody supported them, but they had some kind, I don't know, they had the strongest, I don't know, I could say if they were stronger or what, I don't know. But during the weekends, they went to work, Saturday and Sunday. And then during the week, they are in school studying, and God pulled them through. But me, I used to work during the holidays and to save some money. And also sometimes during studies, when it fitted my schedule, I go to work. Yeah.
But in Germany and going to the school, how many foreigners have made it through at that time?
Oh, Cameroon, let's go back again. I keep on talking about the foundation. It all depends on the foundation, what was laid down for you.
It's true.
That's another luck. That is our destiny. That the country we are from, that is Cameroon, education was a very high priority. We have 90% of people that are educated. So
Wow.
yes, 90%. So that's already a very good foundation. So
So it is a must to be, to have a level of education in Cameroon
yes,
to
you can't have
study.
somebody who hasn't, except maybe the older people, but most can read and write. Yeah, what was the question again before I talk
In
about Cameroon?
Cameroon, it is a must for education that somebody must pursue, education to go high or to go to a foreign country.
Yes, but there was a question before I made that statement. What did you ask before I spoke about Cameroon?
If the, I'm studying a doctor, and if you are with many foreign people, how many of them succeed
Okay,
in
so
doing
see,
that?
okay, yes, I remember now. Now, the thing is, just in Germany alone, we have around 1,000 Cameroonian doctors only from Cameroon.
Oh,
So you see, the foundation we had from the country, it gave us a very good level such that you can pursue higher education anywhere you want. So that's what I'm talking again. The
wow.
foundation is the beginning and the end. If you don't have a good foundation, you can't do anything. So the country had laid that foundation of education, and we had very good education. Somebody in other African countries, when they come to Germany, they have to do 1 year of studies again before they can go to the university. But with us in Cameroon, when we leave from A levels, we come here, they don't ask us to do one more year. No, we just go straight into the university because they understand the level of education which is in that country. And
Mm,
then the second thing is that the university I studied, there were some forerunners. Before anything happens, there's always a forerunner. There were some
mhm.
forerunners, that is some Cameroonians who had come before us. And the fact that they could succeed opened us the doors.
Wow.
Yes. So if they didn't succeed, I'm not sure they could give us even a space to study. They went through hell on earth, but they did succeed. So when I came in, then I think it was a policy in every semester you have 2 or 3 Africans, or even 4. And every semester is 6 months. You have 2 or 3 Africans, and 90% were from Cameroon. Yeah. So in Germany altogether, you have at least the minimum it's like 1,000 Cameroonian doctors.
Mm.
Yeah.
I never know that they are so good in education.
Yeah. Yeah. They are they are Cameroonians are a brilliant group of people, but just that the government is not very good because the people ruling the country they love power. I know when you love power, you have to chase away all the powerful people. You don't want them to come because they love power. They want to be there or have people worship them and this sort of thing. So all the brilliant people they leave the country. You know.
Mm. Wow. But that is a good system they have with the school they teach. You can be taught from your own country. Certain system, like they said, the exam level is high. You
Mm-hmm.
get to learn the language a bit, and then when you come into the land, it's not so much problem. You can function, more.
Yeah.
It's like you can move faster to achieve what you need to
You,
achieve.
you you can depending on your entourage. Your entourage, if you don't get sidetracked with I don't know, or any kind of thing can take you off your track. And then once you go, I know people whom when they came with a student visa. That's the best kind of visa to have. If you come with any other visa, you suffer. The student visa, you come in, provided you are concentrated and can pass your exam, you have no problem to the end. Some people have other issues like visa and they move around and get on the way you can go crazy. So I know some people that came in with a student visa, they had the opportunity to study, but now they are very smart. They say, okay, what if I don't succeed with my studies? And what if they tell me to go back? What do I do? So they created a system for them. So they go to look for a woman or a man to get married. And three-quarter of those people, when they do that, you go and get married to somebody for the sake of paper. They don't advance anymore with their studies.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that they don't want to, but the distraction. And
Hmm.
also, you can meet somebody who doesn't have a clean spirit. You get bounded with them,
Yeah.
and then it prevents you from moving forward. So it's true that you can have a good foundation, which from the country, which has really helped you to form you. But then when you come, you have the world is big. You don't
Hmm.
have your family there. You don't have the family support. Just loneliness can make you can prevent you from going forward. So there are many factors, so many
Yeah.
factors to reach the
Yeah.
goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
many brilliant people have fallen on the wayside. There are
Yeah.
many factors. Yeah,
Because of the circumstance and everything.
circumstances, your entourage, you not being used to the system and cannot get used to the system. You not maybe liking the country, maybe because each area has energies or what you call territorial spirits. You can
Hmm.
come into some place and you get so influenced by those things that you don't move forward. They're too powerful on the spirit, too powerful on the psyche.
Hmm.
So I don't know. You need luck too. You need
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really believe what you're saying, that the foundation is important. Or the foundation begin at home, or how you come into a land and meeting the right set of people.
People, yes.
That is very important. And I want to encourage everyone, to share. And because for her to become this, to sit now to talk about this as a doctor, is to encourage you, to let you know, if you decide to do something, and it could be a doctor or any other thing, and you have a good foundation and a good vision of where you are going, and then you connect to the right people, I can guarantee that you will succeed in what you're doing. Because as she said, it's very important. She said it is the one that you meet in the beginning going to determine the course of your life. Because if you meet someone and they begin to help you 2 weeks, after 2 weeks they put you out, you have no family, you have no one, or after 3 weeks, 3 months, because many times people after 3 months they tell you you have to go, then it end up that you have no friends, no family, no one to help you. So what many people have to do, you have no job, what they have to do, as she said, they start looking for a man or a woman, and she said, if it is the wrong one, even what you came to study for or to do, you end up just lost it. You end up just losing your way. So, to reach your purpose and your destiny, you have to look who you're connecting to and begin to make a good foundation with yourself before you just pick up and just leave or to do something. She could make it because our course was set out right. And thank God for our brother. Thank God for the strength and what she was taught back home that kept her to stand firm in what she set out to do. That today she is a doctor, and not only a doctor, she has her own clinic. So, she even passed than what, and she said something so keen. She said, she was pushed into something that she didn't even plan to do. And it wasn't that she planned to have her own clinic, but it just happened, and it happened so fast. And she said she had to learn every other system and ways how to carry this clinic. And now it's 3 years. So that's mean each part of our life, if you could listen to what Dr. Tengi was saying, she said there were stages of circumstance and problems she had to face to get where she are. So we know that our journey was not that so easy, but our perseverance was strong. Our belief was strong. And she said one time, she said she didn't have so much, she wasn't going so much in church, but the faith was already inside of her. That's why she never gave up. And I want to encourage somebody today. This morning on Facebook, I was talking about standing firm. And this is the same thing she's saying. Standing firm in your belief, standing firm in what God called you to do, standing firm in your business or your ministry or your marriage, standing firm in a decision that you have made. Double mind and going back and forth as a wind doesn't help you. For you to get where you need to be, you have to stand firm. And to stand firm, you need a good foundation. Because if the foundation is not stable, and not firm, you cannot stand on it. Then you will fall. If you understand. So you have to have a firm foundation to stand on, to hold on to what decision or what God has given to you to do. I don't know if Dr. Tengi have to go soon. If Dr. Tengi have something else that you want to release before we go.
Well, I thank you all for your presence. I hope what I said or what we spoke can influence somebody positively. And I pray that we all stay in good health and stay on the path and the purpose God gave us. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
I just want to encourage somebody that want to give up, that they can make it wherever they go. I mean, this is a woman all the way from Cameroon, go to Germany, and it's not all, Germany is different than Holland. Holland is friendly, nice, and but and to achieve so much, and our aim is to come on program like this to encourage the young generation to make it and to push. If you have a son, a daughter, a brother, anyone, even if you're a teacher, these are people that you must show these young generation to say, hey, look how far she's coming from. And look where she is today. The journey may not be so easy, but you can become anything that God ordained or called you to be. So this is something to encourage people not to give up in what God has shown them or what they set out to do. They can do it. They can do it with Christ on beside them, and they can do it by building a great foundation and standing firm in what they set out to do. So, Dr. Tengi, I'm encouraged by this because I know that There's so many things that we set out to do, and it looks so impossible because we think we're not in our own land. We don't speak the language that we don't, we're not capable. We didn't born in this land. But when listening to you today, it encouraged me a lot to let me know nothing is impossible. And
Amen.
as a believer, that is even double. Nothing is impossible to do
Nothing is impossible. Yeah.
once we believe. So the struggle will come. The problem will come, the circumstance, all these things will come. But as you said, if you have good people around you that you can lean upon, and people that believe also in what you're doing,
You're doing. Yeah.
it is more better for you to push forward. So I want
Amen.
to thank you. Thank you very much for coming in. I think today is your free time, right?
Yes. Yes.
You come in on your free time. So I thank you. And the last time we had lunch. So let us go back one day when you have
We
time
will have lunch.
that we can
Okay.
go and have lunch together. Okay. So thank you very
Okay.
much and God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Mm.